It's time for Juco Jam, presented to you by Dream Big Athletics, hosted by Tad Slowick, an exciting new podcast bringing you all the great action from Juco baseball. Here you'll find weekly updates from around the country, highlighting the teams, players, and coaches who impact the game at the junior college level. Everything you want to learn about Juco baseball can be found here and on our website at dreambigathletics.com. There you'll find our weekly team rankings, the top player rankings headed into the spring, and all the news of what is happening in the game at the junior college level. On this show, you will have many guests, coaches, players who will give us insight on the day-to-day, behind-the-scenes working of junior college baseball. And now our host, Tad Slowick.
Welcome, baseball fans, to another episode of the Juco Jam Baseball Podcast, brought to you by Dream Big Athletics. I'm your host, Tad Slowick, and again with me today is my good sidekick and good buddy, Lou Temple. Lou, how you doing today?
Woo-wee. Fishing's fine, Tad Slowick. Good to see you, my friend, and I'm excited for this week's Juco Jam, of course. Lot to talk about, lot of places. You've been out, so have I. I'm just returned from Houston with a little less hair, as you can see. Had a great trip.
Cleaned you up a little bit, huh?
They cleaned me up. Here come the judge. So if you're going to be a state official, you're going to have to be looking high and tight. I went down to Houston and did a television show called Mo on Netflix, and it's very funny. And so I think everybody will appreciate it. Kind of a fish out of water, half-hour comedy, and I enjoyed it very much and looking forward to seeing season 2 for Mo.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing you on there. You know, we always like you on the big screen. We like you on the small screen here too, but the big screen and the television's always a nicer venue.
Yeah, man, it was great. So I had a chance to get down there to Houston. The weather was good, a lot of baseball being played. I didn't have as much time to go see some ball, but a lot of ball being talked. I had some really productive meetings. You and I spoke about that. But let's talk about you, Tad Slowick. Where you been? Where you been out looking at baseball? Tell me.
Well, the weather has been unseasonably warm up here, and there hasn't been any snow, no rain. So I've been able to stay up north a little bit to watch some games. I ventured out last week downstate a little bit again and saw Kaskaskia Junior College play against Lewis and Clark, and it was a overcast day, a little chilly, but you know these kids are out there playing their hearts out baseball wise. You know, I saw Kaskaskia's got a couple good pitchers. Dalton Ballroof, he right-handed pitcher, throws the ball real good, competes real well. Really threw a nice game. Really kept Lewis and Clark in check. You know, got the W and really threw well. You know, he's up to 92 with a good sink on his fastball and a good sharp breaking ball. So I like the way he competes, and like I said, he did a good job. The number 2 guy for them, which isn't really their number 2, probably their number 1 guy, is Niall Adcock. You know, he's committed to go to the University of Kentucky. You know, he's a big, strong kid, and he really throws the ball well. You know, he's got a quick arm, ball comes out of his hand real good. And he's got that hard sinker. And you know I like that hard sinker because that's the way I used to throw, you know.
Yeah.
The contact, let that ball run to you, and that ball comes in heavy. You know, he's got a big-time slider. He's going to do great at the next level. This kid's got all the tools and all the pitches he needs to go on and compete at a whole nother level. I think he's going to even get some pro looks, and
wow,
you know, just a good quality guy. Good to watch him play. So I saw a couple good pitchers on their part. Lewis and Clark threw some good guys too. They had Jackson Perill. You know, he was 87 to 90 with some sink on it. Good slider, also big strong guy. And Andrew Watt also threw well. Same type of guy. They must have those sinker slider guys over at Lewis and Clark, but he was 86 to 89, threw the ball real well, competed through strikes. Good battles both games, and you know, it was good to watch. A lot of guys just pounding the strike zone. That was the pleasant thing of the day, is just seeing these pitchers go after guys.
Yeah, we like seeing guys throw strikes, right? Let's play the game. Throw strikes, get outs.
Yeah, go attack those hitters. So then I went recently down to Heartland, defending Division II national champions. They got another,
Is that the corn cob?
yeah, corn crib.
Thank
Corn
you. Ooh,
crib.
sorry. Pardon me, Heartland. The
Yeah.
corn crib.
Yeah, that's the corn crib. They play there. They got a nice ballpark, nice facility. Brian and Stratton came down from Wisconsin to play them, and Heartland is still a strong program, perennial power again. They got T.J. Williams at shortstop, slick, great fielder with great actions. He's going to University of Kansas and really, really can pick it and also swing the bat real good too. He's a good player. He'll be fun to watch at the next level. Also, they got Corey Boyette, another veteran guy, center fielder, big, strong kid who covers a lot of ground out there, can swing the bat. They threw a lefty, Dylan Warda, freshman, had good stuff, 86 to 89, good lefty stuff with a little fade on his fastball and a little fade on the change. Good, sharp breaking ball. He'll be a good one, and watching him develop. Brian and Stratton, the good competitive club also. I really like this. They had a leadoff man. Their catcher leading off, which you would appreciate.
Wow.
Catchers in the leadoff spot. Is that something? But he's Alex Esser, left-handed hitter. Swung the bat real good, had a few hits, and really swings the bat good approach. He does a great job behind the plate with the pitchers.
Nice.
And speaking of pitchers, I saw a gem. Alex Breckheimer, 6'5", 245, right-handed pitcher. I mean, this guy is just a strong kid. And, he came after those hitters. It was up to 95 with a good late movement on his fastball. A lot of 93s and 94s and good tight slider, good sharp downer curve, and threw some plus changeups. So, I'm going to save a little more on him for our Foggy Mountain Breakdown because he's going to be the exclusive guy in the Foggy Mountain Breakdown. But, nice. That was just a great thing to see this young
What's his name? What's his first name?
Alex Breckheimer.
Okay.
It could be like Jerry Buckheimer. I know you know those.
Yeah. That's I'm excited to get him broken down in Foggy Mountain Breakdown because it's not often that you come up with a player that we don't really know about, and I'm hearing that you didn't know much about him.
Right. Yeah, I saw him throwing the fall, and he was 88 to 90, and we'll talk about his evolution a little bit more and later in our show in Foggy Mountain Breakdown.
Right on. Well, it sounds like you were out seeing baseball as usual, and it was great baseball. I'm sure that St. Louis Productions was out seeing baseball this past week as well. Always your go-to for video production in Juco baseball and showcase videos for prospects.
If you want your game streamed, guys, that's the guy to call Joel Anderson over at St. Louis Productions. So.
Very good. Well, this is the segment of the show that's a little bit new, and we're excited for this because you have put together your players and pitchers of the month, Divisions 1, 2, and 3. So, Tad, why don't you start off with the pitchers of the month, Division 1?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of great candidates. I mean, it was a hard choice, and I'm sure next month's going to be just as hard. So, I mean, so many good quality players and pitchers, and just fun to see how well these guys are performing. Pitchers of the month. First, we have Justin Jackson, right-handed pitcher from Santa Fe down in Florida. He had a great month, 5-0, .58 earned run average, 43 strikeouts, 31 innings pitched. I mean, just dominated, really helped his team out and really got them off to a good start down there in Florida. And that's Justin Jackson at Division 1. At Division 2, we got Owen Schexnader, which is a name I like to pronounce because I think
I'm saying that 3 times fast.
Owen Schexnader. He's a right-handed pitcher, big, strong kid from LSU Eunice. They were off to another great start, but hey, personally, 5-0, 1.9 ERA, 37 strikeouts, 22 innings pitched. he's won a couple games since we gave him the award too. So he's just on fire, off to a great start. So Division II, Owen Scheckschneider from LSU Eunice. And then our Division III pitcher of the month is Marcus Peters from Dallas College Eastfield.
Oh, wow.
Right-handed pitcher. 4-0, .33 earned run average, 43 Ks, 27 innings. I mean, guy just dominating, and it's good to see these guys attacking the zone and just doing so well. So those are our three Dream Big Athletics pitchers of the month.
I'm assuming that none of those three surprised you, Tad. You saw good things going into the season with all three of these pitchers.
Yeah, they're all quality guys, and guys that I knew would get it done. And it's even better when they're performing even slightly better than their talent. And it's they're all their talents coming out, and it's fun to watch.
Full display this opening month. That's fantastic. Moving right along to players of the month, Division I. What do you got?
Yeah, oh man, it was tough. There's a lot of guys who we could add, some guys from Bossier Paris who are hitting a lot of home runs and stuff. And, but our Division I player of the month is Joe Sperry he's a first baseman at USC Lancaster, so South Carolina Lancaster. And he hit 500. Right on the button, 500, 9 homers, 31 RBIs. So he had 9 jacks in the month. So, I mean, that's a whole year for most of these players. So
yeah,
he did that all in the first month.
Well, I'm impressed with the 500 average. I mean, how do you do that? And by the way, he's in the middle of the lineup, so it's not like he's hiding out.
Like he's hidden it all down in the order or anything like that.
So, exactly.
So great on him. The next guy, Division II, is Hollis Porter, infielder from Pearl River. Another top club, guy who's playing real well, helping his team stay at the top of the ranks. He had 397. Man, I wish 3 more points would have been that magic 400. Anyway, 300's a point, but. He had 9 homers also, 23 RBI, just swung the bat real good. This guy's a good player, and he's really a great competitor down there. So he had a good month.
Yeah, middle infielder. Is he playing in the middle?
No, he's not middle. He's a corner guy.
Okay, so, good to know. Yeah. Good to know.
So, and then there's Trey Smith, Division III from Dallas College Richland. This guy hit 460, 8 homers, 27 RBIs, and just tore it up. It's amazing to see these guys putting up those kind of numbers. And with the bat, oh, my God, it's just good. So these were all dominant players and all guys who just stood out. Like I said, there's plenty of competition, but these guys just were the cream of the crop this month.
Yeah. So, well, there you go. That's our first player and pitchers of the month. Notice how I always say player and pitchers, and you say pitchers and players.
I see pitchers and players.
Of course. Okay. Hey, I'll defer to you. You're the scout. This brings us next to, and congratulations to all the winners.
Speaking of awards.
And it is awards season, is it not? Last night had the Academy Awards in my industry, of which I did not win, which brings us to Temple's Takes. What's in an award? And, we give awards for Player of the Month, Pitcher of the Month. We give awards for the league's MVP. We give awards for Players of the Week. In Little League, we started giving participation awards. I mean, so do we give too many awards, or are the awards justified? And what do awards really provide for you? And my take on it is acknowledgement for the hard work that you've put in. So somebody like Tad Slowick and Dream Big Athletics and the Juco Jam is paying attention to all the hard work that's put in and shows up on the field. We recognize that as an individual, you're out playing at a level that is helping your team. Certainly, each of the players and pitchers that you referenced are on teams that are also doing very well and off to a good start. no small part because of these players' efforts. So I'm a fan of the awards. I also think there's a certain amount of motivation that goes towards an opportunity to be considered for an award. An opportunity, if you win an award, I think you're not just validated, but inspired to continue to be the guy. Hey, I was player of the month. I could do it again next month. And so I recognize awards and I find that they have a point and a purpose. At the end of the day, if you've never won an award, I think it's something to strive for. I've never really won many awards. There's a few that I've been put up for, whether it be an ensemble, a cast. That being said, actually, I was part of a movie that won an Oscar, Best Animated Feature, Rango, if you remember that. And got to be honest, that was a really good movie, and I was part of a really good movie, and I'm really proud of that. So they didn't run an Oscar over to my house to get to, hang out like the Stanley Cup. But every now and again, I'll look at my name next to Rango and say, oh, yeah, we won an Oscar as that goes. But that's my take. That's Temple take on awards. Tad, do you have any ideas on awards? Any thoughts?
No, I think they're great. And I think it's nice to win one. I think they mean especially more later in your life too, looking back on some accomplishments. They're nice things, the accomplishments. They're not always the all to be all, but they're great to be recognized. And, these people that we've awarded also be recognized. The people who won those awards last night in the Oscars definitely deserve to be recognized. And, I think, like you said, it's incentive too. If you don't win an award, get a little chip on your shoulder and, work harder and stuff. And also know that, in your mind, the good players who win these awards are good players all the time. They're whether they're winning awards or they're not winning awards, they're guys who are bringing it to the table all the time. They're not playing for awards, but it's always nice to be recognized. So that's a good thing.
Well, there you go. That's Temple's take, and that is awards season done and done. Moving right along, we wanted to also reference our good sponsor, MVP. MVP is a place that you get that work done that you could win an award because of the work you've done at the MVP facility. Tad, you're still there. There it is. And you are still a big advocate of MVP. They do so much for our players in your area.
Right, absolutely. Just a great place to go and get all the things you get done. And like you said, working hard will get you that reward, maybe of winning an award. So all good stuff.
The reward becomes the award, becomes the work. So it's all about, the last thing on the awards, occasionally it opens a door for you too, or at least in my industry. Hey, that guy won an Oscar. Let's use him. And he can negotiate
Good resume building.
Absolutely. Well, continuing on with the Juco Jam, one of our favorite segments.
Well, let's do
next, I wanted to talk about the team summaries and where we're at in the standings.
Well, we got some new number ones this week in the Division I poll.
Ooh!
We got Gaston out of North Carolina as number one. They're 23-2 and just off to a great start. Woo-wee! And they got a couple clubs, Gulf Coast is 22-1, right on their heels at number 2. Pensacola out of Florida also is right on their heels at, I think they're like 22-2. So, it's a lot of good teams playing. Logan is off to a great start. They're like 15 or 16-2. I mean, they're doing great. And, it's great to see teams streaking like this, and it's going to all work itself out. I think coming up here too is because now we're into conference time. We're into the conference game. We're into the rivals games. These are where these teams usually get beat up. If they can survive their conferences, then you got something special in these clubs. I mean, it's got some really good battles this week. I'm going to be heading to Tennessee to see Chattanooga State playing Walter State. Two
Nice. That'll be
top
a good matchup. Yeah.
yeah, two top-ranked teams getting after it at D1. Also, a team I'd like to mention at D1 is Kansas City out of Kansas. They
Okay.
had a heck of a week. They're 15-2 now, and really playing good baseball, and just so many good teams. It's great to see everybody doing so well. At the Division II level, we have a new number one there too, East Central out of Mississippi.
Wow.
They're still undefeated. LSU. How do you like that? LSU Eunice wins 22 games in a row, and they lose one, and they get knocked out of the top slot. So.
That's incredible. It's been a long
Yeah, it
time
doesn't
since we've
happen.
not had Eunice in the number one. I'm going back to last year,
Yeah, they're always up there, and but this East Central club undefeated. I mean, just staying undefeated in baseball. I mean, you know how hard it is. You get one
Every
up,
given day, any given
or
day, you could
you're
get
running
you could
that
get
one good
beat.
pitcher, and you're in trouble. So they got, and that's going to be, battles down there too, because, Pearl River comes in at number 3, but you got all 3 of those clubs in the same region.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable that all 3 clubs are in the same region, and they're going to have
Mississippi ain't missing much, I'll tell you.
right. So they're going to have to battle it out. Another couple teams I want to mention, because they got a big battle coming up tomorrow, is out in Glendale, Arizona. We got Madison from up north, ranked number 9 against number 8, Glendale. So, you got a big game battle out there, and those two have become rivals over the last several years.
Interesting.
Beating up on each other. So it's they played in the World Series last year too. Glendale got a little edge on them, so I think Madison's going to be out for a little blood this week. A team I'd like to mention too.
Hey, before we move on from Glendale, just to let everyone know, you've got a interview that we've got to put out with the coach at Glendale.
Yeah, Ed Trujillo, the head baseball coach. He's been at Glendale 35 years. 35 years at Glendale, and
wow.
You got him and his top pitcher, Hayden King. So look for that Juco Jam interview. So that'll be fun. I'm glad you reminded me of that, Lou. And then the last thing I want to mention too here in Division II is this team Brunswick out of North Carolina, 17-1 start. Really
nice.
Good on them, and we'll see how they battle the next few weeks too, and see if they're going to have that great season.
Well, they've already got off to a good start towards a great season, so they don't have to do much to keep it moving.
Yeah, D3, they're still getting their feet wet a little bit. Some teams have some games under the belt. Gloucester's still in at number 1, even though they got knocked off one game, and then Dallas College Eastfield comes in at number 2. So we'll see how that shapes up as the weather gets better and everybody moves back up north, and we'll see how those D3 teams go. So it's going to be fun.
JUCO baseball is in full swing, and the teams are doing great, and the players are serving those teams. And now my favorite segment, it's time for Foggy Mountain Breakdown. Ted Slowick, you had mentioned that you had a player in particular. Who do you have this week on the breakdown?
Well, we got Alex Breckheimer, the right-handed pitcher from Bryan and Stratton in Wisconsin. And, like you had mentioned earlier, it's one of those days where you love in scouting because you're not anticipating a lot. Heartland obviously got a good club. I know those players pretty well, but to have a guy come out and do the things that this guy did was great. Like I said, I saw him in the fall. He was 88 to 90, 91, I think he was up to, and, threw the ball really well. And you knew that the guy had maybe a little more in the tank, but the way he came out and threw in this game against Team Heartland, and give Heartland credit. They have some good hitters on that team, and they were fouling off pitches that were tough. They were battling their behinds off, just trying to hang in there. This guy had such good stuff. You saw some ugly swings. It was
sure.
It was tough. So, like I said, this guy's 6'5", 245. He comes at you. 91, 95. But he's
Wow.
sitting 93, 94 most of the time, and he's got a good late life. He's got heaviness to his ball and stuff. He's got a tight slider, which is really sharp, could be a plus pitch for him, a good downer curveball. And
Wow.
The thing I was impressed with was his changeup. I mean, he threw some plus changeups. A big, strong guy like this, to have the feel for a changeup. I mean, he had that great arm speed, deception. He had that fade on it, and kept hitters off balance. And then what do we usually see with big guys like this? They have trouble repeating, but this guy didn't have trouble repeating. He had a nice, smooth delivery. And again, we mentioned this a lot of times, is when guys make it look easy, you got something pretty good. The ball came with his hand real effortlessly and easy. And, I just thought it was great to see this guy compete. He gets after it. And, I still think there's a lot more in them. And, he's going to do some great things in the future at the next level. And, and here's the point I want to make especially is that, here's where opportunity meets development. This kid got an opportunity to pitch at the junior college level, and, he's make the best of it. He's in an environment where he's get a chance to develop. He took his fall, had a pretty good fall year, and just kind of put everything together. And all of a sudden, here's what you got this spring. And we're seeing so much of that now in junior college baseball. Guys just taking off, and guys who you thought were, they're all right players, turning into next level guys like this. And it's just good. And that's like my favorite saying now in JUCO baseball. Opportunity meets development. If you're on the bench, you're not getting opportunity. You're in the development environment. You're getting your bullpens in. You're getting your opportunities to get stronger, to throw, work on your pitches and stuff. But there's nothing like game situation. This kid's getting an opportunity to pitch in game situation, and I think that's what's making him flourish. And he's showed that he can compete in a game. And I think a lot of colleges on him now, and I think even a lot of pro guys are going to be on this guy now. We're going to won't be the last thing we heard out of Alex Breckheimer, but I'm just another example of junior college baseball doing the fine work and getting these kids to the next level. So,
well, the point to your point, you were there to get lit up by this guy and recognize, and you had to have looked around and said, who else, is anyone else seeing this? But you did. And I'm sure that over the course of time, you're going to get a few phone calls from some of your associates who are coaching at the next level, and or scouts who are looking to draft. And just the fact that you're out there seeing this is exactly why you're out there and what you do. And so you might be one of the first guys to see Alex do this, and the opportunity for him to pitch in front of you has also led to the development of the fact that he's a prospect for the next level, and he's going to get a chance to go pitch beyond where he's at right now based on last week's assessment, your evaluation.
Right. And unfortunately, a scout buddy of mine called me up and said he had seen him the week before really good too. And he's kind of a little disappointed that I kind of outed him. So,
that's great. Hey, that's what we do here. That's what the JUCO scene's all about. Let's get the players what they deserve. Let's get them out there. Let's raise their bar. Let's raise their visibility. Let's raise their status and the team status. And we're not hiding anyone,
Right.
And we want the best for the player and the best for the player's environment, whether that be a professional opportunity or the next level at the commit at whatever college level that's going to be. So
so he's uncommitted, and for the rest of the uncommitted players who are all quality, you could go to my list of uncommitted players at dreambigathletics.com. and take a look at that. I'm getting a running list. I'm trying to make it bigger and get some more depth on it, get some more players on it as I get out and see them. And, just great to see these guys develop. And, if you want players for the next level, check out my list at dreambigathletics.com.
There you go. And there we have it, Foggy Mountain Breakdown. And always good to hear you break a player down, Tad. That pretty much wraps it up for this Juco Jam. As you mentioned, go to Dream Big Athletics for all of these lists, player and pitchers of the month, as well as our team rankings. And especially my favorite part of that is the non-commits, players who are out there. Coaches, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? And if you haven't subscribed, guys, you're missing out. Get your subscription. It's out there for you, and it's reasonable, and we'd love to have you as part of us.
Good. Let's partner up and make this even better. So it was a great seeing you again, Lou. Sorry you didn't win an Oscar last night, but there may be one in the future for you.
Gives me something to work for, right?
Sounds great, buddy. It's great seeing you, and thanks everybody for joining us on another episode of the Juco Jam Baseball Podcast. I'm Tad Slowick with Lou Temple, signing off. Have a great day.
You've been listening to Juco Jam. For all your junior college needs, go to dreambigathletics.com and make sure to tune in to next week's episode of Juco Jam.